Hey everyone, it's David with Hoss's Taxidermy, and just for the record, excuse all the little chirps and everything. I have ducks here, I have turkeys back there. It's my shop's full. It's crazy. Um, but tonight's video is painting those wood duck feet, the ones that I hadn't shown you in a previous video of how I injected them. Here they are. They're completely dry, and now it's time to color them. I do very little airbrushing now. I used to do only airbrushing, but my friend Brian Stillwell introduced me to pan pastels. Here's a permanent red pan pastel, and I love them. They're awesome. You just, for me at least, I can't get any other like true color details other than using pan pastels. Like the shading is perfect. Like I said, I use little airbrushing, but here's some yellow ochre, or this one's yellow oxide paint, and then I have my airbrush. But wanted to, I guess I'll set this out and show you I'll show you exactly what our feet have to do these feet. Both pair of feet. The video will only just show one foot being colored. I have a assortment of brushes. These are going to use for the pan pastels, and then I have 10 different colors that I'm actually going to put on this one foot. I use so many colors is because those colors are actually in the foot, and it makes it look a million times better if you actually just take your time and do it. But first, my feet, assortment of brushes, a whole bunch of different colors of, I have, this one's orange, this one's permanent red, I have black, yellow ochre, daisy loud yellow, Hansa yellow, titanium white, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and raw umber. Those are the colors that I'll be using for the foot. And again, this is a wood duck foot. So I also have a spray can of matte finish. It's used to seal the colors in between applications. I also have another bottle of black, but I'll show you what I do with that one at the very end. But let's get started. Okay, what I'm going to start with is putting the yellow oxide on the foot. I have taken the foot and I've actually, to remove any residual master's blend, I had wiped it down so it kind of releases it. I'm just going to move these colors out of the way a little bit. For this purpose, I'm actually going to paint both of them because I'll have to change colors in the airbrush at the end to do that final step. But mix up the yellow oxide and go straight into the cup of the, this is a Badger Velocity airbrush. I love it. It's amazing. You get real fine detail. I'm going to turn on my air compressor, so 1 second. And basically all I'm going to do is color this part of the leg and the toes. If it gets in the webbing, it's fine. I'll fix it. But it's just a real light layer of the yellow oxide. I'm actually going to do this one just a little bit thicker. There we go. And that's all I'll do with that color. Alright. Set one to the side. Make sure it's dry. Just wave it and it'll dry quick. The first color that I like to start off with is the yellow ochre, and I just use one of my paint brushes and kind of fill in the darker areas and try to make it an even coat all the way around. Where I had placed all the yellow oxide with the airbrush. I don't want to go too thick with this, only because I'm gonna have other colors, and I'm actually gonna come back with this color as well to do this. Or to put back on here. And also, by not doing it so thick, you can also see the darker areas, like the knuckles, the actual joint in the heel. Well, let's backtrack and do a little bit of anatomy thing. This is the entire foot of a duck. These are its toes. So basically, it walks on its toes to when it's standing. Thinking about it, you don't eat this part of the. For instance, a chicken leg. The chicken leg is actually attached right in this area, and then the thigh would be further up. It's actually bones of its foot, and these are its toes. So when I say foot, I mean the entire thing. Think of it as your foot. If you walked around on your toes, the other bones that lead to your toes would be right here. So, but I got the yellow ochre, as you can see, and then I'll come up with this. I think it's dairy lide, and just kind of lighten certain areas of this foot. I'm not so worried about blending the colors right now. Just applying them. Basically all I'm doing is just highlighting certain areas. There you go. Set that one to the side. I won't need that one. A touch of orange. I like to put this near the back side of its foot and just highlight this area right here. And on the other side. And because they're all different shades of yellow, I don't change the brush, but once I get to a different color, I will change the brush. So my next one is the burnt sienna, and again right along the back side of its heel and foot. That turkey is really loud. Just a little bit around the back of it. Because burnt sienna is dark, I'll use the raw umber as well. And this one I'll actually go below where I applied the burnt sienna and fade that color in. Same on the other side. And with this color, I'll also like to kind of highlight all the knuckles. Or joints. To give it a better layering look. After I've done those colors, next I go back to the yellow ochre and kind of just lightly brush it in there to kind of fade the colors together, and then also around the knuckles. Alright, I have most of the base colors done. Now with the lighter yellow, this one is the Hansa yellow, highlighting just different areas and kind of making it blend. Alright, a very, very small amount of white I like to put right at the top of its foot, right in here. Alright. Back to the permanent red. Let me grab a different brush. And right a touch. Just right in there. And on this side as well. Alright, at this point, the blue. Ultramarine blue. Just another very, very small amount. Yellow and blue makes green. And I like to put it right around in the heel area so it will have a little bit more green. Then the blue will go on kind of strong. It doesn't blend very well. But once I get this applied, I'll go back on top with the yellow ochre. I don't know if you can see that, how kind of thick it looks right in there, with the blue. Yellow brush again, the ochre, and just kind of fill that in and blend it some. Alright, at this point what I'm going to do is seal it. I'm going to do 2 coats, or probably 3 coats of very fine mist of the matte finish, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, now that I have the matte finish on, none of the colors will rub or anything like that. So my next step is black. You will rarely see black in nature. Typically they're all shades of brown, but for this purpose I use black because I will be blending these colors to make shades of brown and gray. And right now basically all I'm doing is going in the webs. And coloring that. Honestly, you don't have to put a lot of color on here, because I'm going to layer this black, and it'll get darker and darker with each layer. And I do it till I see that it's good enough for the colors that I want, and also according to the reference. Make sure you have your reference handy. And now I'm just gonna lightly brush on the joints and kind of blend that. It probably looks like I'm putting a lot on the knuckles, but once matte finish. It'll darken a little bit, but I also will go back with the the yellow ochre to finish it off and blend those colors a little bit better. I just on the bottom of the foot, I just put a little bit of black in there. I like the way the Master's Blend kind of held this color, where it's not a black, it's not a gray, it's not a brown. It's just like, it's almost a mixture of all those colors, and it's also got like somewhat of a metallic sheen to it. But let me hit it with the matte finish. And let it dry real quick. I actually like I like the color on this side of the web, but I want it a little bit darker on that side. So I'm going, but I gotta make it match. I'm gonna make this side a little bit darker. And just lightly brush it in here. Alright, another hit of the matte finish. Alright, and back with the yellow ochre, and just lightly go back over with the knuckles, or the joints, whatever you want to call them. Kind of blend them. Alright, below that, another layer of matte finish. And my next step, it's called antiquing. And at this point, this is what I like to do. There's two steps to it, or two different ways to do it. Let me grab a small little cup. Small little mixing cup, a little bit of water, and you could use black. I'm going to use dark brown for right now. Mix it up, and put that in there, and with a larger brush, mix that. And now, since that I have sealed this foot, it's not going, none of it's going to wash off, and I'm going to paint the entire foot with this watered down dark brown mixture. And take my my hair dryer, and I don't believe it's hooked up. It's not. 1 second. I had to turn off the light. They're fine. Hair dryer and dry the foot. I don't know if you can see that, but that dark brown went down in between the scales of the foot and kind of darkened the areas. I'm going to actually do another layer. Doing it really light the second layer because I didn't seal the first layer, and if you don't seal it, do it really light. But if you do seal it, it's fine. Just put you can put another coat on it. Yeah, there you go. You can see it it falling down inside the cracks of or in between each scale. Hair dryer again. And there you have it. The final step is to seal it again, and there you have a very detailed wood duck's foot. And here is here's a good photo of this foot. Thanks everyone for watching that little tutorial on how to paint a wood duck's foot. I know it was fairly long and everything, but you need if you really wanted to get good at details on your bird's feet, that's a great way to do it. I absolutely, yes, it takes a lot more time to do it, and in fact it's actually going to take me twice as long because I only did one foot at a time. That's going to be for a flying wood duck, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe down below, or if you're actually on my channel, up above. But thanks for watching, and I hope y'all have a good night. Talk to y'all later. Bye.